Did he join Bayern?
I hope so.
Nah, Haaland just signed a new contract. So, in this universe, I didn't resign. Thankfully, we didn't. At least, that's how I felt after the first 8 matches, as we won every single one. So, how did we get here? Transfer-wise, both Adeyemi and Florian Wirtz were cool to stay, but we lost Moussa Diaby and Patrick Schick on free transfers. Moussa Diaby broke his ankle last season and never played after his pre-contract agreement with Monaco. Unfortunately, he never performed well for me. But with Monaco, that was a different story. For Patrick Schick, I think I pissed him off last season for not letting him go to some club. These type of things seem to happen more than I would like, but he ended up signing for Napoli with less success. To replace Schick, we brought in Sebastiano Esposito from Sampdoria for 25 million. Other transfers included some young players for varying fees, including Ronaldo Pinzon, who played quite a bit this season, and I think he could be something special. More players went on loan around Europe, and then we got an affiliate with recently relegated Bochum. I sent them an entire farm, and they easily won promotion back to the Bundesliga. There was one last disappointing player.
Oh, for God's sake.
We spent 29 million on Tony Verissimo 2 seasons ago, and I was expecting him to be a big part of our midfield, although I made the mistake of signing him to a 2-year contract. Then at one point, I made him angry by not letting him go on loan, and before the season started, came into my office. He wanted to wait until the end of the season to explore his contract options. So I had the risk of losing a 29 million investment for free in just 2.5 years. Then other teams became interested in him. RB Leipzig was one of those teams.
Today is the day.
They recently lost their manager to Liverpool as Klopp was sacked after winning the Champions League.
Oh, I guess that makes sense.
However, with Manuel Baum gone and Savo Milosevic in,
I'm gonna go bold.
they went big in the transfer market. They came to me with a player exchange offer. Leipzig offered a player who could potentially be a once-in-a-century talent. Okay, maybe not that good, but he's basically a new Florian Wirtz. A little lazier, but he could be a future captain. I decided to bring him in, and he also got plenty of games this season. I guess we'll see who wins this trade in the future. Back to the campaign, we obviously had an easy start. It seemed simple all the way until December, where we had Dortmund, followed by Bayern, then Wolfsburg, and Hoffenheim. This would be the same at the end of the season, so there could be a title decider later on. On the 9th match day, Bayern dropped their second match of the season, giving us a massive opportunity to go 4 points up. We were facing recently promoted Greuther Fürth, and with us up 1-0, I felt comfortable. This guy has 9 long shots. 4-way matches, I was using a variation of our current formation, except I dropped a cam into center back since we have 3 top quality ones. Unfortunately, as the season went by, there was problems with this formation, so we decided to stick with the original one for the most part. Then we played Frankfurt, and after we went up 2-0, our former player Andrich scored off a corner with 10 heading, and then we would concede a penalty to draw once again. Bayern are now tied with us.
I am inevitable.
Next up was recently promoted Mainz, who won the DFB Pokal over us in our first season, and were a team I made fun of after getting relegated. Rest in piss, Bozo, you won't be missed. Should I have bought a goalkeeper? Maybe, but I'm loyal to a fault. And he did perform well this season. They made it 2-0, but we came back to tied with an Adeyemi brace. Although it wasn't enough due to that dumb goal, we drew once again. We then defeated Union Berlin and Werder Bremen, and then had Borussia Dortmund. They were shocking to start the season, but they started to build themselves back up. Reina had this ridiculous strike that got stolen by Zakarian, and then they doubled the lead with Malen. Once again, we had to come back, and we did that. We drew 2-2. And while it's annoying that it was another draw, it's away at Dortmund, so I'll take it. Bayern, on the other hand, was something. They were back on top by 4 points, so a good result was needed. Adeyemi made it 1-0, so I needed to manage this game well and make sure the guys made no mistakes. Does the most idiotic pass I've ever seen in my life. What's with us conceding goals that don't have to do with the opposition playing us apart? They ended up winning the game from Old Man Mueller, but we did win the rest of the matches in December. It's still frustrating, although all we need to do is start the second half of the season the same way we started. Anyways, in the Champions League, we faced the new Liverpool manager, Manuel Baum. The group also had Real Sociedad, who are still pretty good, and Dynamo Kiev, who were unfortunately the whipping boys. Liverpool at home was great. We were slightly the better team, but I would have accepted a draw. Then we conceded an own goal. That's bull crap. Thankfully, we got 4 points from Sociedad as we lost 3-2 to Liverpool at Anfield due to a penalty. Liverpool winning was inevitable. Defeating Kiev on the final match day had us finishing in second place. That led to a round of 16 tie against Arsenal. There's some unfinished business. Now, how would I describe the month of January? Cold, anger, and meltdown. Gvardiol wanted more playing time. I said I would promise him more playing time because he's obviously a starter and he handed in a transfer request. Paulinho wanted more playing time. He was a guy I trusted in recent years, and I thought he would play a big part this season. However, I felt like the combination of Adeyemi and Guiri was better, and that led to Paulinho being benched. Then Guiri was slowing down as the season went by, so I thought, yeah, I'll give you more playing time. Nope. Apparently I broke too many promises and offended him. This happened exactly with Gvardiol. With him, I just accepted the situation. With Paulinho, I just dismissed it and pissed him off even more. So that's 2 players dropped. And you might ask, did you really not play them for the rest of the season? I think I played Gvardiol once, and that's about it. Now with Paulinho dropped, I also had this guy from my academy who could fill in his boots. I just wish he was a little faster. How did the matches go in January? What is this? What is this? Last 10 seconds here. Why are you sleeping? Why are you not moving? I can't believe it. Oh, and I threw a water bottle on one of the players that seemed demotivated. Is the guy that made the damn error. We then drew Hamburg 0-0, leaving us 9 points behind Bayern, and they stayed undefeated for a while. We also eventually lost to Arminia Bielefeld in February, leaving the Bundesliga out of reach. Nevertheless, with a win over Stuttgart, we went to the quarterfinals of the DFB Pokal. Dortmund lost on penalties to Augsburg, and Bayern lost to Wolfsburg. So with this as the final 8, what easier route can you get to a trophy? We got Augsburg, who we already defeated twice this season. That match would be in between the Arsenal games. First leg at home, an even match. Arsenal had some chances off corners, and Adeyemi's 11 finishing missed another big chance. Then in the 90th minute, Arsenal went up 1-0. Minutes later, as I was trying to tie it up, Danny Ings, of all people, countered us and made it 2-0. This would make the trip to the Emirates nearly impossible. Then after a frustrating 2-2 draw with Freiburg, we had Augsburg in the DFB Pokal. For some reason, I didn't keep all my best players rested for this one, and we had over half the side rotated. I also was playing my backup keeper Schwolow as Andre Gomes got an injury. Rotating so much isn't ideal, especially in an important match, and it definitely didn't prevent stupid goals. I swear, our team forgets how to play football sometimes. Then in the 21st minute, Esposito equalized. It looked like the game was going to go to extra time, but not so fast. Look at the box. Gregoric appears, and several Leverkusen players surround him. You'd imagine if the ball goes in, it can be dealt with. Even if Gregoric gets it, he would have to do something incredible for this to be a goal. Last season, the domestic cup promise was to Florian Wirtz. This year, it was Bakker, and I lost it. You. I got so tired of players complaining. I said some mean things to Bakker and dropped him for the rest of the season. Oh, I am going insane with this. Oh my gosh. A bunch of the team leaders got pissed off with a bunch of this. I'm not making any promises because whenever I do that now, the team's like, oh, you've broken enough promises. So I just yelled at them and dropped them either for the rest of the season or until they got happy again. Bro, I am losing this dressing room, so I'm so mad. The second leg of the Arsenal game was just crap. We lost, and Szoboszlai, who I tried to sign last year, scored on me. With that out the window, we had no chance at trophies. We couldn't even beat either of the promoted sides this season. The only positive is that we defeated Bayern late in the season, ending their invincible Bundesliga season. It would have felt better if there was more stakes, but they clearly were trying to get into the Champions League final, so they played a rotated side. Now, normally when you lose 2 matches in a season, the Bundesliga is yours. However, drawing 11 times with half of them being caused by the most basic errors, well, that just leads you with 74 points in second. If I wasn't driven to insanity already, the second last match of the season definitely did. We were 3-0 up on Wolfsburg. If you remember, they were so bad last season. We even made a Sag for them. Then in the span of 6 minutes, they tied it up. Okay, maybe I should have done some better game management, but we scored in the 9th minute to win it. I then brought everyone back to make sure we protect our lead, only for them to score on the kickoff. They also got to the DFB Pokal final, and PSG made the Champions League final as well. They still had Pavel Vrba, who must have heard what I said about him last season, and worst of all, they both won the finals. And I started thinking, what if Haaland did join Bayern, and I resigned? Well, my life would probably be a lot better than this.